Welcome back to Closing Time with Nick El-Tawil. I am, once again, Nick El-Tawil, and I'm here with Josh Otero today. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. So, Josh, you're an Empire member too. See you around here a lot. I've talked to you a bunch. You have a lot of interesting pieces about your life, but I want to hear it all at once, right now, on camera, for the world to see, or at least the 50 people who watch this.
Let's go. Where'd you like to start?
So you're an athlete.
Yes.
What's your sport?
So now I tend to just lift and do hard things like CrossFit-esque. I don't necessarily do CrossFit, but I do CrossFit-esque, but I like to do hard things. So you'll catch me on a Sunday rowing a 10K or hiking for a couple hours in 110-degree heat. So that's what I do now, but I've had a background. I was a college gymnast, and then I got into mountain biking, ultra running, and that led me to do an Ironman. And then I've always just liked to challenge myself, push myself further than the average person could do it, and kind of test my limits and see where I could go.
I love that. I love that. I don't like the pain of running, but I respect the people who can do it. Triathlon's running, right?
Triathlon is running.
It's running.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and ultra running is like running 100 miles in the mountains. And
So I have a neighbor who does that. Yeah, he will go to Colorado for 100-mile races like twice a year. So I thought that was insane when he told me, but apparently he's not the only one.
There's a couple other insane people out there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you do the whole 100? Is that a normal thing to like get the whole 100 or?
Well, yeah, or you get like the last one I did, I got cut for time. So there's a big one that is in Colorado. Your friends probably done. It's called the Leadville 100. And I was and it's all in through the mountains. So there's no flat part on it. It's all in the mountains. And so it's over this pass called Hope's Pass and down and then back up and over and back. So it's 50 miles there, 50 miles back. And the cutoff was 14 hours. And I had hurt my hip, which led to my knee. So going down, I had to like skimper. I couldn't run. And so I ended up finishing or getting to the 50-mile mark at 14 hours and 10 minutes. And I got cut because the cutoff was 14 hours. So that was kind of frustrating.
14 hours. How many minutes a mile is that to get 100? That's got to be like
20-some. No, maybe more than that.
Oh, is it that high? 20-minute miles?
Yeah, because you're somewhere around there. Yeah, because you're not running fast.
Yeah.
You're in the mountains. So like you're climbing up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's 15 to 20. You're not moving fast.
Okay.
Yeah, you're at 14,000 feet elevation, and you're kind of huffing and puffing up there, especially as you get to the top of Hope's Pass. So it's you're at your max.
So this friend, we did a little skit about like the run club in Scottsdale, and I made a joke about I run 100-mile races and shit like that. That friend inspired that. So
yeah, that's awesome. You see a lot of people that are not all there doing that kind of stuff, like me. You got to have something off to be putting yourself through that kind of suffering, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And you also have an AI company, is that right?
That is right.
Tell me about your AI company.
So my AI company was actually stemmed from, I'll give you a quick background on it. So about 5 years ago, I was working in the startup space and COVID hit. I saw this, and this will lead to my nonprofit too, because it's all kind of connected. So I was working in the startup space and I saw this huge spike in social isolation, loneliness, depression leading to suicide in the community that I was working with, which was 18 to 34-year-olds, but I also saw it in the military and veteran community. And then there were two incidents early in 2020 that kind of sparked me to do something. So in February, there were two cadets at the Air Force Academy that took their life. And then a couple months later at a ship in Virginia Beach, 6 sailors did the same. So I started the Warrior Gamer Foundation, which is a nonprofit, and the whole mission was to promote health, wellness, and community through gaming. Because we could game and I could be anywhere in the world, and you could be stuck in your house, but I could play with you because we're gaming and we're all online.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started a Discord server, which is, this online community.
Oh, I know Discord.
Yeah. So we've got like 30-some hundred members there now. We're pretty active. We host events on a weekly basis. We've got about 40-some different channels. So it's a way to just, as you're separating from service, you've been active duty, you're going to be a civilian, you're looking for a sense of purpose, meaning, and community, you come to us and we help provide that. So it's kind of like a home away from home, because you lose your sense of, you lose everything, right? In the military, you're told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you come out, nobody's telling you anything, nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be that place where you could go, feel safe, and like play with other people, game, talk, whatever. And so we built that, and like I said, now we've got over 30,000 members to that, and it's pretty active. What we also do is we do this mental health summit every year. And we've done it the last 5 years. And so what we do is we bring a bunch of experts together and talk about mental health, military health, and then we bring a gaming component into it, or a technology component into it. So how can we leverage technology to create a sense of community and connection? And so we talk about that. So last year we had the secretary of the VA come, and he was our keynote speaker. He and I did a town hall session afterwards. So the secretary of the VA runs all of the VA. So he's got 500,000 employees, runs a $500 and some billion budget, and reports directly to the president. And so it brought up a lot of attention to us. And we hosted it, we do it in DC every year. So we Howard University was our host last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that came out of that was, how can we leverage technology to kind of serve our veterans and our service members? And so one of the things that we do in our foundation is we've got a peer platform. So it's called Peer Connect. Mm-hmm. And it's just peer-to-peer support. So we go on our Discord server and we get a new member, or one of our members that's in distress. We've got a team that's there 24/7 to kind of answer them and help them. One of the things that what came out of the session was, a question was, what about at 2 o'clock in the morning when darkness hits? Like, how many people do we have on staff? Because we're all volunteer staff. Mm-hmm. And darkness doesn't necessarily hit at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. More likely it's going to be 2 o'clock in the morning. And so I couldn't really answer a question of like, how many people are actually working at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I started thinking about, how can we leverage technology? And so I'm like, well, I'm an avid user of AI. Why don't, let me see if I could start an AI company to really solve that problem. So I called my co-founder, and she was working at Google at the time. Really, her job was to train AI to be smart. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, Sherry, can we build a company really to solve this problem of connection and support for veterans, service members, and their families? And she's like, absolutely. So we came together late last year and started a company called Elanah.AI, which is my daughter's name. And we got some initial funding from Amazon. And then we got some more funding, and we've just launched our V1 end of May. And we brought together a team of generals, high-level military people to really help us build this team and take this company to provide 24/7, 365 support to veteran service members and their families using AI. And we built the platform to use voice and text technology, so you could talk to it and it'll talk back to you. And we built a team of a dozen scientists, psychologists, psychiatrists, pathologists to kind of help us teach Elanah how to be smart. So instead of just using all the junk from the internet or a traditional open AI platform, we built a vertical AI to really hone in on mental health and building resilience and being able to offer that to our members and our users.
Gotcha. So having like that specific, database for AI to look from really gives it targeted answers. So it's not randomly pulling out maybe, oh, there was this World War II thing that happened, I'm going to throw that into your mental health question.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that's super cool.
Yeah.
And of course, awesome thing that you're doing for the veterans. So that's super awesome. And that's a nonprofit here in Arizona?
So, yes, so the Elanah is a for-profit, and then the Warrior Gamer Foundation is a nonprofit, both based in Arizona. Mm-hmm. We do most of our events in D.C., Washington, D.C.
Gotcha. In the capital.
Yeah.
Very patriotic.
Yep. Well, plus the military's all based out of there, and we go after Congress and Senate, so we want to be in their face and kind of being able to highlight to them what we're doing. Hence why we invite the Secretary of the VA to come. Trying to get him this year. We have a upcoming summit at the Army Museum in about a month from now, which is 45 minutes outside of DC. It's a gorgeous facility.
I tried to use Discord for real estate networking and stuff. It didn't really work for real estate just because we tend to be fairly local. So like Instagram or Twitter is like good enough for any one of those. But I like the idea of a Discord server as a community, and I think if you're across the country and it's veterans from all over and they play video games together, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, from a real estate, because you are local. If you were nationwide, I think it would be perfect. But finding a Discord community that's only in Arizona, that's tough.
Yeah, there was one I think it was Arizona Reddit. So Reddit is a big Discord community. They had an Arizona Discord. I just don't like a lot of the comments on there. It was very just negative people.
Oh yeah, just talking
yeah.
trash about
Yeah, and it was so it wasn't my vibe, but I do like Discord as a platform. I think that's super cool, and gamers love it.
Yeah, I mean it's a great way for others to just be able to use it to connect. So one of the things that we did, which was the first of its kind, was we actually, when the Secretary and I were on stage, we had a guy that was on stage with us from the VA that was hosting a live town hall session inside of our Discord server. So we had our live crowd. We were also streaming on Twitch. And then we had a guy that was on stage with us streaming and hosting a live town hall session inside of our Discord server. So all 3,300 people could see what we were doing and ask questions. And we took questions from that live audience that was out on stage, but we also took questions from our Discord server, and that has never been done before. So we were kind of excited to be the first ever to host a live town hall session inside of a Discord server.
Right.
So there's a lot that you could do with Discord, but yeah, to your point, from a local, we're nationwide. We don't really have much of a presence in Arizona, to be honest, but so being a nationwide org, it really works, but being a local, AZ real estate agent is probably more Instagram or one of those other things are probably better.
Yeah, Instagram's kind of the default for what I do.
Yeah.
And then I want other people to see it. So Discord's closed. So only people who invite it and join and actually read all the messages are paying attention. So yeah, but you must be a gamer.
I'm not a gamer.
No?
So that's what everybody asks me. Are you a veteran or are you a gamer? I'm neither. So I see opportunities and I try to take advantage of them. So I know that gaming is a way to connect others. And so when I first started, I had a nutrition company in the gaming space. And so my co-founder, who we had started another company, a sports tech company, and he said, "Hey Josh, we should start this nutrition company focused on gamers and esport athletes." I'm like, those guys are a bunch of nerds and their moms, eating pizza in their mom's basement. Why would we do anything like that? And he's like, "You need to take another look at it." I'm like, "All right, I know some gamers And so I spent a year and a half looking into the gaming community. And I'm like, oh my God, these guys are high-level athletes. The hand-eye coordination for some of these esport athletes is off the charts.
Yep.
The amount of calories they burn playing is ridiculous. And the burnout, I could be an NFL lineman and last longer than a professional gamer. So it's insane because you're using such cognitive load to game. It's crazy. So I gained a whole new respect because I had not a lot of respect for them to start with. But I gained a whole bunch of respect for them afterwards. And then I became part of the community and I became known. I speak, not this year as much, but in the past I used to speak on gaming consoles. I would be asked to be a lecturer 4 times a year at large gaming events, and I wasn't even a gamer. So I got into it.
They told us video games would rot our brains when I was younger.
Yep.
Now look at them.
Yeah. Now they're making millions.
No, when I was I want to say I was junior high school, we moved to the middle of nowhere. And it was there was no kids. My school was 40 minutes away, no kids in the neighborhood. Fucking sucked. But online gaming got me through that. So it is a thing where you can actually connect with people. And this was 20 years ago. So it was online gaming,
Yeah,
what is it?
basic,
What it is
yeah.
today? Yeah, we're playing RuneScape. Like, so I definitely relate to that, and I definitely think that's something that's definitely going to help them.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I gamed, but then I got into sports, and I stopped. I never had time.
Well,
I'd come home and
I feel like all the athletes play video games though.
yeah, now they do.
Yeah.
Back then they didn't. It became a thing probably like 10 years ago ish, maybe 15 years ago. But when I was I went to ASU, it wasn't a thing back then. It
No.
was more like workout, go party,
Yeah.
and sleep.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
There was no time to game. It was either you're working out or you're going to party or you're going to sleep.
Now Gen Z, they don't party, so they just play video
Yeah,
games.
exactly. They left that second part, which is
Yeah.
actually, I don't know, it's probably healthier.
I've heard that social isolation is actually less healthy for you than any of the side effects of alcohol could ever be. So, if alcohol is what you need to socialize, it's literally better than just being alone.
So there's some stats, and I probably don't quote me on this, but social isolation is equal to like a pack of cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
And so it wears on you. And I've seen it. Like that was a big, like mental health is a big passion of mine in helping others. I mean, that's obviously why I have two companies that do it. And I saw the effect. I've talked to hundreds of people that are going through mental struggles and trauma, and seeing them then they start to isolate themselves, and it becomes like this downhill trajectory where it just one thing leads to another, and it gets worse and worse and worse, and ultimately, hopefully, it doesn't lead to the taking their life, but that's oftentimes where it leads, because you have no sort of connection. You need connection. You need a community. Everybody, even as introverted as they are, every single person needs human connection.
Agreed. And that's why you do that for those veterans.
Exactly why I do it for the veterans.
So how long has that been going on?
So I started the foundation in 2020, and then I started Elanah.AI like October of last year, so less than a year.
And what were you doing before that?
So,
Like, are these your two main focuses right now, those two things?
Yeah, I was consulting before that, so I was
Okay.
doing healthcare consulting.
Oh, no way?
Yeah.
For health insurance?
No.
Okay. My dad's in health insurance.
Oh, really?
So you might have crossed paths with him.
So we were building a company for seniors to create connection through activity.
Man, it's just you are just all about the people and the connection. Perfect place for it here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is Empire is the best place for it.
Yeah. It's funny. Ed was telling me in high school he used to just hang out with his friends and just talk to them all the time. Like, that was me. That's why I'm a real estate agent. Talking to people is all I do.
You got to be a good talker and networker to be a successful real estate agent like yourself.
Well, thank you. Thank you for flattering me. But yeah, all I've ever done is I know people really well, and I know how to just talk to total strangers, and it worked out for the career.
And Arizona's the perfect place to do it.
Yeah, I don't think I would have gotten into real estate if I stayed in Arizona. Just because everything that happened in 2008, the prices were down in the dumps. Doing a deal and making $4,000 or $5,000 or something, it's a lot of work for that much money. It is a lot of work to find the clients, get the clients, actually do the sale, the constant follow-up. I just don't know if I would have done that. But, going to New York, I saw, the price points are there much higher. There's a lot less sales. But if you can get some of them, the work that you do is actually rewarding. It's actually worth, okay, I can make this a career.
Yeah, you're not making $3,000 a pop doing it.
Yeah, $3,000 for 2 years of follow up with someone.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, so that kind of opened my eyes to it. And then when COVID hit, I tried to stick it out, but worst year of my life. Speaking of social isolation, 2021, all my friends had left New York. No one was in the city. I'm trying to stick it out just because I didn't want to give up. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. I'm going back to Arizona. All my family's there. It's sunny. So I'm glad I did that, but I waited too long. Should have came back 2020.
Yeah. Well, and like New York or LA, you were just basically locked down. You were forced to isolate, which I can't imagine what the depression.
It was
and
the most
loneliness.
depressing year of my life.
Oh, it's,
The worst year of my life by a mile.
I've never seen reports that showed people that took their lives during that year, but I would bet there's a lot.
Yeah.
And if you looked at like New York and LA, I bet you that was.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just an empty city, and people had their masks on, and they're just not going out, not doing what they used to do. The places closed early. It was like Scottsdale, they were living their best life.
Yeah.
Like,
And nobody was dropping dead. Like they were like, oh, trying to strike the fear of God in you
yeah.
in New York or in LA. And then Arizona, they're like, no masks and living, and everybody's still alive. Imagine,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. So I came back, and I'm really glad I did, because it's also just the vibe shift out here. I feel people are more collaborative, more just like, hey, I'll do what's best for you, and I'll do what's best for them, rather than what's in it for me. So total vibe shift as well.
I think people are just friendlier and happier out here, which makes it
For
better
sure.
for you in real estate.
For sure. For sure. It's more competitive out here, though.
Yeah.
More real estate agents out here than in New York, which is actually wild to me.
Well, there's more in Scottsdale than there is in New York.
Oh, for sure. Like, New York City, I'd say real estate, at least residential real estate, it's like the third or fourth thing that people want to do. It's like finance, they want to work on Wall Street, then maybe tech, then maybe commercial real estate, then residential. But in Arizona, it's like residential real estate. Everyone's connected to it one way or another. Even if you're not directly related, they end up being related to it. So, excuse me.
So when you were growing, how did you get started out here? Because that's, growing a business, right? It's always like, how do we get started? And
I'm still just getting started if you really think about it. No, it's, family connect. Like, I have all my family out here, right? So the first house I sold out here was my brother's house. So that helps a lot. And then just knowing people through that gives me a baseline. But no, I'm still grinding, brother. I'm still rebuilding. And it's taking longer here because, again, it's more competitive out here. But I think there's way more opportunity out here because there's so many just part-time people. Like,
Yeah.
an unbelievable
you're
amount
a
of part-time
professional
people.
doing it. There are a lot of people that are just doing it
Yeah.
just for fun.
Unbelievable amount of part-time people. So it's very saturated, but it's saturated with people who don't really work that hard. So it's definitely ripe for the taking, but it'll take some time.
So there is a huge demographic trend that's, Arizona is the key, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in, basically defense technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so looking at like what's happening in the west side and them spending tens of billions of dollars to build up, the factories, TSMC and the other factories that are going alongside that. I was talking to a gentleman 2 Fridays ago who is in data centers. He builds data centers, which is the hottest thing I think since sliced bread right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was telling me that from Ahwatukee or that Chandler down to Tucson, they're going to be spending over $1 trillion building out defense tech infrastructure for future and our silent fight towards our biggest enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think from your standpoint, the amount of people, I mean, there's got to be an additional million people that are going to have to fill all these jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's super competitive, I would think the next decade for you is going to be huge.
Absolutely. I have history with Arizona real estate. I didn't fully realize, but my great-grandpa was a real estate developer in Scottsdale in 1960. So he built, houses right over here on Osborne and Hayden. I still see him when I drive by. He built apartment buildings. No one kept any of them. They're all gone. He passed away before I died. I didn't even know this history until I came back at 31 years old. My family had a party for me. They're like, hey, by the way, this is what your great-grandfather did, this, and this. I was like, you never told me? Really? So I definitely feel like I have a reason to be doing what I'm doing. And I would say Arizona is just underappreciated. It's not like it's not like Miami. It's really just like Miami, but it's not like, people don't look at Scottsdale as Miami, even though it's very similar. So I think it needs some spotlight shown on it, and I'm shameless enough to do shit like this, so we get to show all the cool shit that's going on over here.
I like it. No, there's, again, we haven't done much in both of my companies in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I see that changing here in the next year.
Yeah. I was going to say host them at
Yeah,
Empire.
we're going to host an event December 5th in Empire.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, I'm in.
Fundraiser for the foundation.
I'm in.
So, yeah. All the defense money that's coming here and defense technology and the various companies, like the big, defense tech companies like Raytheon, as well as some other smaller new startups that are still billion-dollar valuations, are going to be coming to Arizona and building factories in Arizona, which gives us, great opportunities to get into those companies and work with those companies and get those contracts, because they've got billion-dollar contracts with the U.S. government, and we're going after DoD dollars as well. So prime opportunities for both of us.
Yeah, the government money's the best money.
Government money is the best money.
That's a guaranteed contract.
Yep.
They're not going to default.
They don't not default.
Nope. I love it. I love it. So are you... Wait, hold on. I might have missed something, but are you building any defense systems, or...
No, we're just in defense space. So our customers are the DoD,
Okay.
Department of Defense, and then the VA.
Okay.
And so because our market is right now solely veterans, active duty service members, and their families. So we also don't want the users to pay for it. So we don't want the veteran to pay for it. We want the government to pay for it.
Gotcha,
'Cause
yeah,
we
yeah.
feel like this should be a resource for them. They shouldn't have to burden themselves with paying for it. So we're going after government contracts, DoD
Yeah,
contracts. So I should have stated that earlier, but that's how we're tied in with the government, because we're going after government contracts, VA contracts. We're also working with other large nonprofits to work in with them and be offering into their platforms.
Well, Arizona, growing up here, it was always a lot of military people here. Maybe not right in Scottsdale, but like Tucson or on the outskirts. A lot of like military families that I remember growing up with. So it's a place where, I mean, I don't know where the bases are. There's a few bases, right?
There is a few bases, none around here, but there are several bases in Arizona with a lot of big things happening. They're all mostly closer to Tucson or like Yuma, nothing in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, there's not just bases, but there's defense technology companies that are coming to Arizona and building. Like in Chandler, there's several that have built, large defense contractors that have built up in the last 5 years. And then the trend is moving more and more towards them coming, building. And then when the data centers come, they're doing defense. Some of the data centers are being used for defense technologies as well.
Yeah.
And that's all happening along that I-10, or that's what I'm told. So.
And that area is tough though, because isn't that a reservation, like south of, I'd say, Sun Lakes and Chandler?
Yes.
There's a reservation down there.
Yep. So they're working, and again, this is all secondhand. This is him telling this to me. They're working on arrangements with them to be able to lease the land.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because they're lucrative. Like, it'll give the tribes millions or billion, I don't even, probably billions of dollars.
Probably.
So they're, I'm sure, going to be more than willing to lease land so they could get the money.
Yeah, that land, there's like just outside the city limits, is the most valuable land in Arizona, and it's just so underutilized. If you ever drive by east of the 101 in Scottsdale and you drive through the reservation over there,
There's nothing there.
Nothing there.
There's cropland. There's some farming I've been seeing going on lately, but nothing. Nothing's utilized. You have one side that's all built up, and then the other side that's all farmland.
Yeah.
And wild horses, which is cool.
It's always a balance, because it's their land. We gave that to them, but also you just hate to see it be underused, right?
And especially if it could benefit them, right? If we could give them, if we're leasing it from them and they're generating, because they're, some of those tribes, other than the casinos, don't have a lot of revenue sources.
Yeah.
So if we're helping them, I see it as a win-win. They're benefiting from it by generating revenue, and then we're benefiting from growth and opportunities.
Absolutely. first came back here, I was driving down the 101. I think I was with my mom. And I just looking over, I was like, man, someone should develop all that. I forgot it was a reservation. I hadn't been here in so long. It's like, you know that's reservation, right? You can't just do that.
Son, that's already been tried. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 150 years where they just can't do that. So,
Well, even like, I lived for 20 some years like towards Desert Ridge and Cave Creek. And when I first moved up there, the 101 wasn't even built. So we had to drive down Scottsdale Road or Bell, take the 51, it ended at Bell, and then take Bell all the way up to get there.
So when did you move here in the 90s?
So I moved here in 96.
96, yeah. I was a little kid, but I do remember there was no 101 back in the day.
Yeah.
But
or closed 51, and there was no 202.
yeah, well, we lived like downtown Gilbert-ish at that time. No, we moved to Tucson, I think 96, but started in Gilbert. And yeah, it was just, you couldn't get around.
Yeah, it was. I remember we went to, what was it called, McDonald's Ranch. It was on like Pinnacle Peak Road and Jomax. And it was like this huge farm, and you'd go and you could see all these animals. And now it's a residential, or it's a elder living center. And that was like the place. It was like in the boonies. Like you'd drive out there and they're like in the middle of nowhere. And now it's like right in the center of Scottsdale.
Yeah. Shea Road used to be nothing. It was like everything north of Shea was dirt roads. Now look at it.
Yeah, it's all built up. Although there are some of those horse properties that have an acre to 2 lots, which is actually cool when you drive by them. Mm-hmm. They've taken advantage of that.
For sure. It's always funny though. Like you'll just be driving down Scottsdale Road and you see Shea is kind of like where it starts to get a little rough. And you're like, okay, this is probably where it ends. And then beyond that, it just gets newer and newer and newer. And it was like old Scottsdale versus new Scottsdale. You can see the difference.
When you go the other way and it's all new.
Yeah.
And it all used to like going to Fountain Hills. Used to like I haven't done that in a while, but going and walk around that fountain and seeing how that's like Fountain Hills used to not be much, and now it's not totally developed, but it's pretty developed.
Fountain Hills, I think like price per square foot is one of the highest in the whole valley. But they don't have like the crazy big homes in North Scottsdale or Paradise Valley or even Phoenix. So the prices aren't as high at the top end, but yeah, it's one of the more expensive areas, which is kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, because it's one road in and out. It's like, it's not convenient at all.
Yeah, if you're a senior and you don't really work, or you work from home, that's probably perfect because it's a nice community.
Yeah.
And there's some cool restaurants, and like I said, you walk around the lake and all that kind of stuff. But if you had to commute to the city every day, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
And there's one accident on Shea,
you're done.
forget it.
You're done.
You turn around, go back home, and call it a day.
Yeah. So I try to talk people out of Fountain Hills unless they are like that or they just want to be at home and be homebodies. But yeah. So you're not born and raised in AZ then?
I am not.
Where are you from?
So I'm from Chicago. I would never move back there. I love it. It's a great place. It's different than when I grew up. So when I grew up in Chicago, you can roam the streets, you can do anything. We would go take my mom's car when I was young and go downtown and have fun. Nowadays, you're likely to get shot or carjacked. So it's still a beautiful city, and I love going there in the summertime and spring and fall. We'll not go back in the winter. Maybe over the holidays just to visit family, but not, other than that, because it's cold, windy, dark, and, in January it's 75 degrees and sunny here. It's cold and miserable in Chicago. But from a cultural perspective, from museums, from things to do, from the restaurants, I love Chicago. My family still lives there. I love it. I love Arizona to live. I would never move, I don't think I'd ever move anywhere and maybe have a second home somewhere, but my primary, I love Arizona.
You'll like this. My cousin, born and raised in Arizona, I think he's maybe 26, 27. He said, I need to live in a cold weather state. He moved to Chicago.
You moved back right away?
No, I told him I'd give him 5 years because the first couple of years is like he's never really lived in that kind of climbing
Okay.
for. It's like, yeah, it'll be cool for a little bit. By year 3, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Year 5, you're tapping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did he last?
He's still there.
Oh,
This was only a year, maybe a year and a half ago that he left.
Then he lives in the city?
He lives in Chicago City, yeah. Near Wrigley Field, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's in the 20s or 30s, that's a hop and that's like a nice place.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. Like if you into the bar life and nightlife, you'll never go wrong in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like when I was running, I would run and it was 3 degrees out. Like now I would never run in 3 degrees, but back then
I just wouldn't run.
I ran in 3 degrees and when the wind blows on your face and they're sweating and it's freezing and you're like, oh, yeah. I'll take the right now when it's 105 degrees out, sweating my ass off versus freezing, having ice cubes freeze on me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. Well, we're glad you're here. And it sounds like you're doing awesome things. And, for the audience, can you let them know how to donate to your nonprofit?
Absolutely. So our website is warriorgmrfoundation.org. And there's a link on there if you want to donate. So it's warriorgmrfoundation.org.
You heard it, people. Josh Otero, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.